Hello, this is Operations and News for Team 2, Kim Colson, Eric Moore, Steve Boise, Calvin Kerlick, and Nicole Stella for Operations Management. For our company of interest, Team 2 chose Tim Hortons. For our news tie-in, we used a advertising age insights video on the Rochester roasting plant. For our topics that we tied in from the course, we used supply chain management predominantly, with facility layout, process design, and quality management sections as well.
Supply chain management. Tim Hortons has established global supply chains in Brazil, Guatemala, Colombia, and Honduras. Listed below are 5 requirements in determining a successful supply chain. Steps 1 through 3 are covered in large by Tim Hortons' Coffee Partnership Program implemented in 2005, focused on economical, social, and environmental goals for coffee farmers. Economically, farmers are taught to improve quality and yield, thereby increasing their income and independence in the long term. Socially, it focuses on childhood education programs teaching communities at an early age about business management. Environmentally, they are taught about preserving soil quality and wildlife through the elimination of herbicides. The partnership ensures effective communication channels and has helped farmers to double their yields, reports of which assist in supply visibility. Step 4 is demonstrated by partnering with multiple regions to ensure sufficient supply should a major event occur. Step 5 is covered by their business partner and supplier code of conduct, covering items such as fair practices in remuneration, hours, business ethics, working conditions, quality, and environmental practices, all of which are verified by a third party. Supply chain recommendations. One recommendation is for Tim Hortons to address some critics by taking more deliberate steps in educating the public on the purpose of the Fair Trade Coffee certification and the equivalent attributes in their coffee partnership program. They should also continue to evaluate potential cost savings at each step of the supply chain by conducting an annual value chain analysis.
Bean processing is made up of 3 major parts: cleaning and blending, roasting, and packaging and shipping. During the cleaning and blending process, beans are accepted by hand and dumped from large sacks into a strainer-type machine to separate the beans from other materials. They are then transported to storage silos and readied for blending. Once blended, the beans are moved to one of the 4 roasters. Employees in a control hub monitor roasting time and temperature before transporting beans to the grinder. Grinding is also managed from the control hub. To ensure freshness, ground beans are packaged within 24 hours of grinding. Packaging is a fully automated and computerized process, allowing for exact volumes of coffee to be bagged and sealed. Bags are tested for weight and proper sealing constantly. Once sealed, the bags are packaged in boxes and stacked on pallets. At this point, people take over and manually move the pallets around in preparation for shipping. Facility layout. The Tim's roasting facility runs a continuous style of production. Each blend is standardized, and once blended, all following processes are identical with the exception of roasting time. The roasting facility is structured into sections that perform similar functions. There are sections for cleaning, storing, blending, roasting, grinding, packaging, and shipping. The plant produces up to 40 million pounds of coffee per year. Tim's has a variety of different roasts and blends that are all produced at the Rochester plant. The same machinery is used for each blend, as just the bean ratios and farming locations change. Multiple quality checks are used throughout the roasting process, and those will be discussed shortly. Automation plays a major part in the roasting process. Employees monitor from a control hub, but most of the bean handling is automated for speed and efficiency. This has allowed the facility to grow from 8 million pounds to 40 million pounds per year over the previous decade.
A company's brand image shares an unobstructed link to their product or service's perceived quality. A negative perception of the brand's quality could lead to loss of consumer confidence and ultimately decreased revenues. The Tim Hortons restaurant chain maintains strict quality standards. Ensuring that these quality standards are adhered to in the processing and packaging of their coffee is of utmost importance. The facility has an in-house laboratory that samples the coffee 200 to 300 times a day. The overall goal of quality assurance is to ensure that every cup of coffee has the same fresh taste as the day it was processed. This demonstrates that quality assurance is fully absorbed into the culture of the corporation. Although Tim Hortons does a great job demonstrating quality assurance measures, a recommendation made by our team is that they infuse their implementation of the HACCP Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point Quality Management System into their literature. The HACCP standard is well trusted worldwide and could reinforce a company's brand perception to its target market.
After reading about the lengths Tim Hortons goes to ensure they are working with ethical and sustainable partners across their entire coffee supply chain, we were surprised to see that there were still a lot of people out there who were criticizing them for not using fair trade branded growers. One recommendation is for Tim Hortons to try and do a better job of countering these critics by educating the consumers and critics alike on what's involved in selecting the Tim Hortons supply chain partners and what's involved with getting fair trade certification and how similar these two processes actually are. Similarly, we like the use of HACCP as a tool for achieving quality control, but feel there is room to capitalize on this through consumer education with regards to quality. In summary, we found both Tim Hortons and the video on the Rochester's roasting plant to be excellent sources of material for comparison to course topics. We followed their supply chain from farmers through to the roasting plant and were impressed with the lengths they were going through to achieve sustainability while maintaining quality. Our recommendations revolve around promotion rather than operational changes. It would be interesting to see what the operation looks like going forward as they continue to grow, and an annual review of their supply chain will be needed as the number of new growers, transporters, warehousers, and roasting facilities will need to be brought online. Thank you for listening to our presentation.